I love this question because, or these questions, 21 and 22, because they're really quite easy if you understand what the image looks like, and you really need to. This is an exponential equation, so is this. There's a slight variation in them, but the questions are very similar, so we'll do them both together. You should be able to kind of say, okay, I know that this thing is going to be either increasing or decreasing. And the fact that the base is 2, it's a whole number greater than 1, means there's going to be growth. Okay, y equals a times b to the x power is really the equation that sort of stems from, where a is the initial value and b is the growth. If b is greater than 1, it's going to be going up. And that's why the image will look kind of like this, generically speaking. Okay, we can say that the initial value that we don't see here is 1, but it's going to be multiplying by 2 every time we take a step over. So it's growing. Okay, now what value of x, and these are the values of x that we're looking at, would produce a point closest to the x-axis? Well, that's all based on the image. Okay, closest to the x-axis, well, we're getting closer the further we go to the left. So ultimately that means the x value that would make you get closer to the x-axis will be the x value that's further to the left. And so when you think of it that way, you look over here, well, the furthest to the left is this. So you do have to understand it, but it's very, very clear if you can kind of walk your way through the thought process. Now the difference here, let's do it both, is that you have a 1 out in front. Again, your initial value is 1, but now you've got a fraction. So it's decreasing. It's doing one of these little numbers. Okay, so you're decreasing over time. It's the opposite of this one. And the question then, what would produce a point furthest from the x-axis? That's a slight variation. Two things are being changed, and ultimately that's going to mean the same answer is going to be here. Because if we're getting furthest from the x-axis, well, based on this, if it's decreasing, you get further from the x-axis, the further to the left you get. So you change two things, the ending result's the same. The further away you get, the further left you go, and so therefore your answer is going to be A once again. For different reasons, because this one's decreasing when that one's increasing, but since this one's decreasing, when are you further away? Well, the further back you go to the left.